former welterweight champion, George "Rush" St. Pierre, as he continues to warm up for tonight's main event of the evening against this man, Matt Hughes, the former longtime UFC welterweight champion. Unbelievably, we still have tonight's main event of the evening. Chuck the Iceman Liddell and Wanderlei Silva did not disappoint, and I don't expect these two great welterweights to disappoint either. Our main event features the third matchup between George "Rush" St. Pierre and Matt Hughes. I'm still a little tongue-tied. It's almost like you had to catch your breath. That was pretty exciting, man. That was a wild ride. What if I told you that George St. Pierre and Matt Hughes are going to fight now?
You know what? Look, this easily could be more exciting or as exciting as that fight. This is a phenomenal stylistic matchup, especially since Matt Hughes decided to go back to his roots and really focus and concentrate on his wrestling for this fight. I mean, he knows that he can't stand with George St. Pierre. He knows he has submitted George St. Pierre in the past, and I think this is going to be a phenomenal fight.
Talking to the insiders that know Matt Hughes very well, they tell me that Matt has trained like he never has before for tonight, because he really wanted to punish Matt Serra, who we hope gets well soon. But in so doing, he has prepared himself better than he's ever been for the challenge, which is GSP.
Well, he's very confident. You can tell that by the fact that he's willing to take this fight on short notice.
For sure.
Not preparing for George St. Pierre, preparing for Matt Serra. Now, George St. Pierre also took this fight on short notice, but he had been training for the possibility that Matt Serra pulled out. So he was preparing for it just in case, kept himself in peak condition. I have never seen either one of these guys any more confident. Matt Hughes looks very focused, very calm, and very confident coming into this fight, which is huge. And so does George St. Pierre, and it's going to be an amazing fight.
George St. Pierre said, I had a premonition that one of the Matts wasn't going to be able to fight tonight. He was right. The winner will challenge Matt Serra down the road, but tonight, it's about settling the score. We feature the Big Four of the best in the history of the sport. Two have gone toe-to-toe, and now these two will battle again.
UFC welterweight championship.
Matt Serra's been doing a lot of talking about me. I was very excited to fight him, but now that he's heard I'm fighting George, and that's a exciting fight as well for me, in that I get to rematch the guy who beat me last.
This loss is the best thing ever happened to me. It made me stronger, and next time I will fight Matt Serra, it's going to be a different story.
Is GSP back? You better believe he is.
I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm sharper than ever, stronger than ever, more powerful than I've ever been. Now it's a rubber match. It's the third time that we're going to fight each other, and a lot of stuff happened outside of the ring and inside of the ring.
I'm not impressed by your performance, and I look forward to fight you in the near future.
I feel very comfortable taking this fight with George St. Pierre.
No matter if I like the guy or not, he's not my friend. It's going to be all about business, and I'm going to do my job, and my job is going to be to destroy my opponent.
Don't count Matt Hughes as the same fighter you fought last time.
Matt Hughes is a huge motivation to me. In my book, he's probably the best welterweight right now, and there is one way to take his crown is to beat him.
I've already fought George St. Pierre. I've already beat him, and I get to do it again.
ready to battle. But he lost that fight with 1 second remaining in the round via submission. The second fight, 25 months later, pretty much we saw a fight-ending head kick. And now the trilogy is about to be completed. Welcome back inside the octagon, George St. Pierre. They are fighting for the interim welterweight title. Our team of the tape for this, our reigning man of the evening, the French Canadian St. Pierre, 8 years younger than the American Matt Hughes. George St. Pierre has a 3-inch reach advantage. Here we go again. For the official introductions, once again, here's Bruce Butler.
Ladies and gentlemen, this UFC Championship bout is sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission with Chairman John Bailey and commissioners in attendance Skip Avancino Jr., Bill D. Bradley, T.J. Day, and Pat Lundball. Our 3 judges scoring the championship bout are Glenn Trowbridge, Nelson Hamilton, and Jeff Mullen, and Executive Director Keith Izar. Our lead physician at Octagon side is Dr. David Watson. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon is Steve Mazzagatti. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 former UFC champions have now entered the Octagon to go to war against each other for the 3rd time. And now, live from the sold-out Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in Las Vegas, it's time! champ. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This UFC warrior holds a professional record of 43 wins with 5 losses. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 170 pounds. Fighting out of Hillsboro, Illinois. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the former UFC welterweight champion, introducing his opponent, fighting under the red corner. This man holds a professional record of 14 wins with 2 losses. He stands 5 feet tall, weighing in at 170 pounds. Fighting out of Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the former UFC welterweight champion, George Rush St. Pierre.
Gentlemen, here we go again. We will have a clean, fair fight. You need to obey my commands, protect yourself at all times. Now let's hook them up. Good luck. George St. Pierre. Matt Hughes. Time to settle the score. Interim welterweight title to be delivered to the victor. All right, here we go. Bring it on, come on. Southpaw stance for Matt Hughes.
Well, the big question in this fight is how does Matt Hughes deal with the speed and athleticism of George St. Pierre? And when you saw he went immediately for that ankle, it looks like to take him down.
Hughes leading with the right.
Well, you know what? Matt Hughes is a wrestler, and he might be more comfortable taking people down with his right leg forward.
And that's what he wants to do, undoubtedly. He wants to take George St. Pierre down.
Problem is, to get close enough to take him down, he's got to get in the danger zone. And again, he reaches.
He's got to set that up. We just talked about the ever-improving wrestling of George St. Pierre. So that would include takedown defense as well.
Well, one of the reasons why he's so good at wrestling is because he's so fast and explosive. I mean, you see how light he is on his feet as well. A lot of guys, when they fight in the octagon, they're good strikers, they make the mistake of being flat-footed. George is constantly moving, always on the balls of his feet, always moving around. And because of that, it's very, very difficult to grab hold of him and take him down.
Joe, in preparing for this matchup and the many articles and things that I read,
look at that. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, that's some serious takedown defense there. You're talking about an all-American wrestler like Matt Hughes who was deep in on that takedown, and George got out of it immediately.
It was amazing that since UFC 50, the first matchup of these two,
he takes a knockdown.
St. Pierre has only been on his back for a minute in all his fights. He's the aggressor in the wrestling game.
Well, he really proved that in his last bout against Josh
He
Koscheck.
landed every takedown attempt against Josh Koscheck.
And again, that was the word on the training camp, is that he was able to take these fighters down. Guys like Rashad Evans, who was also a great college wrestler, he was able to take him down at will, but they weren't able to take George down. That's huge.
Jiu-jitsu-wise, both have skills. In fact, Hughes has very underestimated submission attack. Submission power.
Because of the fact that he's a wrestler, a lot of people forgot the fact that he's one of the most successful submission artists in MMA. The wins over Frank Trigg, the win over George St. Pierre, the win over Joe Diesel Riggs. He's submitted many, many fighters.
St. Pierre trying to utilize a little grounding power.
George passed a half guard here.
choice was by Matt Hughes. And for Matt Hughes, he's in trouble here. He needs to survive this position up against the fence. In 48 fights, Hughes has been submitted just 3 times.
Two of them by one man, Dennis Hallman, the other by BJ Penn. Did a good job controlling George's posture, but eliminating too much damage.
St. Pierre,
Look at this slam that he's doing with it. He comes up, breaks the head, and slams him down. Trying to get Matt to release that body block.
St. Pierre warned again. He's got to be careful where he hits Matt Hughes. Full mount continues to hold on with his great strength. Trying to survive this first round. George's got to be careful now. He's been warned 3 times, Joe.
He's taking that elbow and he's trying to manage to break it loose. And Matt gets it back again.
10 seconds remains in round number 1.
Dominant win for George St. Pierre.
St. Pierre, he has
He wants him up. He's got his back.
We're going to hear the horn now.
He's got it. Dominant round for George St. Pierre.
And remember, the first fight ended by submission with 1 second remaining in the round.
That was complete, total domination by George St. Pierre.
He's seeing some shots because you're throwing those punches like a fake. You gotta throw them like you mean them. When you're on the ground, you need to ball up tighter. Don't get stretched out between your arm and your leg. That's how he got down there. When he's up high, you drop down onto that calf for that single. You know what I'm saying? Drop really low. I know you're all right. Strike a little, put him down. Remember, George?
And Greg Jackson.
If he goes southpaw, strike him right.
He's got some Vaseline on his head. He's got a big gob of Vaseline on his right eyebrow that they're gonna have to wipe off.
Steve Mazzagatti sees it.
I'm amazed he's not doing anything about that.
Checking the fighters. And here we go, second round. Southpaw again. Funny when Jeremy Horn said, "You're all right," Matt said, "I know." But round 1 looked like a Matt Hughes fight against his many opponents in which he beat down. But it was George St. Pierre in top position. This main event here at UFC 79. Again, another takedown. And quickly into the half guard.
This does not bode well for Matt Hughes. The fact that George was able to take him down so easily. What happened in the first round when he did take him down?
Hughes trying to strike from the bottom. St. Pierre in the full guard of Matt Hughes.
And Matt's doing a good job of keeping him in that full guard.
There's one. George St. Pierre taking this fight on 30 days notice. You talk about an early Christmas present. And many said, actually, George St. Pierre was the welterweight who saved Christmas and was more than willing to fight Matt Hughes tonight. Both men should be credited for taking this matchup when Matt Serra was forced to withdraw due to injury.
Elbow from the bottom by Hughes.
Watch your thumb, man. St. Pierre wants that rematch against Serra. Hughes wants Serra as well. More of the same so far here in the beginning of round 2.
But Hughes is doing a good job of avoiding too much damage now. Because he's able to keep George in full guard here. George is trying the can opener by pulling back on Matt head like that, what he's trying to do is get Matt to release his legs. By putting pressure on his neck, it gets a guy to open the guard up. So because George is looking for that, it makes me think George is looking to pass. The legs are open now.
Body head from St. Pierre.
Matt gets back to full guard.
Midway point of the round. St. Pierre now training in Albuquerque on frequent occasion with Greg Jackson. Continuing to work his ground game.
George is past the side control. Matt is trying to control one of his wrists here.
Half guard now for Hughes.
Well, this is a better position. This is what we call twister side control. If he can get out of this, he mounts him. He mounts him and he takes his back.
And this time he's got plenty of time, Joe.
Deep hooks.
Hughes is really in tough control.
He's completely dominating on the ground. Not trying to turn over in his guard. George is having none of it. Stuffs him right back against the cage.
St. Pierre has said many times the best learning experience of his life was the loss to Matt Serra.
George has
Let's see if he can take him down.
1 minute left. 1 minute left.
How many times have we seen Hughes not get the takedown in his position? Not many.
the only problem is he may be exhausted.
45 seconds remaining in the second round. He's inside. Takedown right into side control. 30 seconds remains in the round.
Matt Hughes is really getting overwhelmed in this fight. George just stepped over for a triangle.
20 seconds.
He's got a Kimura on one side, a possible triangle on the other.
Trying to submit Hughes. Not quite yet. It's all over. It's all over. George Rush St. Pierre defeats Matt Hughes again.
Wow. You want to talk about a dominating victory. It might not have been as quick as his second fight, but it was just as dominant, if not more dominant. George just completely outclassed Matt Hughes in this fight. Let's take a look at the end again. Here's the takedown. And look at this sweep. Boom! A beautiful throw. Immediately to side control, elbows to the face. Now he's got a possible triangle on that one side with the left arm, and he goes for a Kimura on the right arm. Now as he pops the Kimura out, Matt bridges, tries to roll him over, leaves that arm extended. George takes it, rolls with it, straightens that arm out completely, and Matt is in deep, deep, deep trouble. He taps verbally, and Steve Mazzagatti separates him. I mean, George had turned and got a better grip on the lip, and he's saying, I'm tapping. Right there. Unbelievably dominant victory for George St. Pierre.
And he can break dance as well. St. Pierre spent a lot of time training with Renzo Gracie and the jiu-jitsu skills. Reigns supreme here tonight. Bruce Buffer with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Steve Mazzagatti has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes 54 seconds of the second round, declaring the winner by verbal tap out due to an arm bar. And now, the interim UFC welterweight champion, George Rush St. Pierre.
years. Exactly, so that's why I'm gonna take off this belt, because for me, yes, it's a good collection, but doesn't mean nothing to me. Thanks to the UFC to give me that, it's a good honor, but the real champion is Matt Serra, and until I don't get my belt back, I'm not gonna consider myself champion. Now, George, you stated that fight, that loss to Matt Serra was the best thing to happen to you. Why is that? Absolutely. Matt Serra that night beat me fair and square. He was a better man. I make many mistakes. I had a lot of issues, but he was a better man that night. Next time, when I fight him, he might be a different story and people will understand what I'm talking about. George, please take a look at the big screen. Well, Matt Hughes adjusts himself. He came in the fight left-handed. I was not prepared for that. I used my wrestling skill to control the fight, and my submission skill as well. I've been working a lot on that. I had an awesome training camp. I was on the top of my game. Well, congratulations on the interim title. Well, before I finish, okay, I would like to say thank you everybody for the support. I wish you a happy new year, and everybody back home, à tout le monde qui me regarde à la maison au Québec, je vous remercie pour le support et je vous souhaite une bonne année. Come party with me at Tangerine. Thank you. George St. Pierre, ladies and gentlemen.
George St. Pierre, gracious, and what a statement he makes about the forthcoming matchup to solidify the title against Matt Serra. Now here's Matt Hughes with Joe.
I am here with the former champion, one of the most successful fighters ever to fight in the octagon. Matt, obviously disappointed. Give us your thoughts on the fight.
I came in, no excuses here. I came in 120%. I really trained hard for this fight. I brought in some of the best people. We really had a good game plan. George is a better fighter. There's nothing else I can say besides that. I do want to thank my fans for showing up, and I also want to thank George's fans for showing up, because that's who's paying her way, to be honest.
Matt, you've always been classy in defeat, always been classy in victory. What do you do from here? You've said publicly that you only want to fight a few more times. Do you want to go back home and think about it for a while, or what?
You know, it's funny, I was just thinking, I just released a book, and people have read it, and they've already wanted a second book, and you know, a defeat like this in the second round against George, I just don't know how much longer I've got in this. He's a young kid, he's doing great, and you know, I gotta sit down, I gotta think about things, and I gotta talk with Dana in the UFC and see what they want me to do. So just a lot of things on my mind right now.
Well, as a fan, I want to thank you for all the fantastic fights over the years, all the excitement that you provided for all these fans.